It's 365 Hawaii
with Eric and Julie Zemelis, and behind me is our back seat.
and the car. We are heading south from Kona, going down towards HOV and beyond, and we have an interesting video that we're going to take you along in this one.
Yep, this time we were going to show you guys. There's, we like to go beyond just the beauty. We also like to talk about the story, and this one is going to include a little bit of controversy. But we're going to show you guys some stuff that's happening down there and give you guys kind of like an update and some history on it, and also show you some of the beauty of what we're seeing as we go down to the area around Naʻaleu.
That's where we're off to. So come on with us, and let's go see what's up.
Okay.
We know where we are, but where are we and why are we here?
We know where we are. Well, you guys, if you've been on the island for any length of time, you've probably been to Punalu Bake Shop, and usually you come in for malasadas, and we do too, and we've put this in a variety of videos, but we wanted to maybe catch people who haven't done it yet, because this is the place to get malasadas, and if you don't know what those are, they're Portuguese little, like almost like donuts. But Eric said, let's do something different here that they haven't seen us do before, so we're gonna try a little different menu item, but I can't help but get my usual Lily Koi malasada, because why the hell would I have driven all the way down here?
That's right. And we do these things for you. We've been here a lot of times, but we take you guys so you can go, oh, I remember that one time.
Yeah. And I'll tell you guys, it's 2:15 on a Sunday, and the line is out the door. So
yes.
Let's see how that goes.
And it's a cloudy Sunday on top of that, so I don't know if it makes a difference.
Well, it's people are just traveling and they know about this place, so let's do it. Good things come to those who wait. This is why I wait. This one right here, the Lily Koi Mullet salad. Yeah. Get some of that. Yum. So we got the goods, and look at. For those of you who have not been here for a while, they've got this beautiful branded box now. Look at, they are moving up in the world. So yum. So we have taken you to this area that's actually further away from the shop than sometimes you might go, but you can get back here and it's a little less crowded, and it's really pretty back here with nice little, just a gazebo. But it's a nice place to be alone, so we can nosh on these things and tell you how good they are without people making fun of us. So let's go in. Okay, I am not the hugest fan of filled donuts or malasadas or anything, but I asked the woman what is a very popular and tasty malasada that we haven't tried yet, and she said get the one that's stuffed with pineapple. So what they do is they have special ones here. They've got they do pineapple, guava, and another one which I can't remember right now, and they also have hopia. And this one was today's special was pineapple, as you obviously are aware that pineapple does grow here, so it's kind of like eating local. It's but it's not like fresh pineapple. It's still kind of got that gelatinous experience. Okay, I mean, if you like filled donuts and things like that, this could be a good choice. Love Haliconia. This says Hawaii like I don't know what else does. That is so cool. They're like little living sculptures. Okay, so this is Windward Park, and it's on the way away from Naʻaleu as you're going towards Pahala. And when we were in Pahala for the Ka'u Coffee Festival, we were told that during the heyday of the sugar mill experience, that they would put the sugar on boats here, and this used to be the pier for that. Here's a little bit more information about this pier. The original name is Honu Apu, which means caught turtle, signifying the abundance of turtles caught in this bay. In 1941, it was bombed by the U.S. military to stop possible Japanese invasion of the Big Island. It was rebuilt, and then in 1960, a large tsunami greatly damaged it. It was rebuilt and then destroyed by the local 1975 tsunami. The state of Hawaii gave up rebuilding at this point, and it was allowed to decay. So when we first brought the kids here in 2005, this place felt it actually kind of slightly haunted. And 2005 wasn't that far away from when the sugar industry actually collapsed in 1997. So it was still kind of like on the downward slope. But then over the last few years, when we've been coming, there's more families here. There's people out there having picnics. The energy is better because people have like come back and they're bringing joy back to the place by being with their families and community. But this is really cool because this is also where you're going to see some really good wave action.
Okay, Julie, this is one of the places we wanted to come to today. And where are we?
We are at Kawā, Kawā. That's what we're thinking is pronounced Bay. And this area actually was, no one actually came here for a long time because there's a story. Should I tell the story now?
Sure, go ahead and tell the story. It's very definitely interesting.
Yes. So when Eric, like we told you, we got here in 2005. And so probably around 2010, we saw that they were having protests here. And what the story was that there had been a caretaker who claimed ancestral rights to this land. And he had been here for about 20 years. And some people call him a squatter. He also called himself someone who was actually caring for and protecting this area. So eventually, I think what happened was what they felt the rightful owner of the land, who actually had title, told him, it's time to go. And he said, that's not fair. I can't prove that I'm the owner here, but I've been here for 20 years and I've, helped create this place into a beautiful space. The county did not agree with him, so the county bought the land.
Yeah, it went on for years. This story, and
so they probably fought for about 3 or 4 years. So finally, what the county ended up doing was they bought the land from the trust, I think the Olson family, and the Olson family said that they sold it for like millions less than they could have gotten for it, just to be able to say, hey, take it for public land, let the DLNR deal with it. So the county's responsible now for keeping this whole thing going. But here's to the gentleman that did spend 20 years here, and he took care of the place, kept the paths running, planted stuff, he was growing things. These are the kinds of stories that sometimes happen in Hawaii.
Yeah, and we came here shortly after it opened, but it hasn't been that long. I would say the last 5 years that this place has actually been open for actually a county park.
For the public,
For the one thing, once they acquired it, took them a little while to kind of get it together. But it's a beautiful place, and it's a little bit, I would say this is one of those haunted places, and we'll tell you a little bit more when we get down.
We like to call it energetic, Eric.
Yeah, okay.
Or energetic
spiritually
space.
Thin.
We've had some experiences here, so we're going to take you down to the beach and talk to you a little bit about some of the experiences we had. And who knows, we might get some more.
Yeah, let's go check it out. Okay, a little side note as we're walking here. As our last video, I was just getting ready to go to the old doctor for a little skincare action, Smo's surgery, and I am now done. 15 stitches later in a couple hours, and it's nice to be healthy without a big old chunk of cancer on the side of your face.
And we're out here at 3:30 in the afternoon, so Eric is not in direct sunlight for our little adventures here today.
So this is an example in the old days, instead of actually having barbed wire and fences, we had a lot of rocks. So all the pens were made out of rocks. I wonder how long it took to make this big fat pen out of rocks.
Okay, you guys, you've read the green sand beach, right? Papua and it's not the only place you can find green sand because, as you can see in this rock, this is embedded with olivine that creates the whole beach being green. And if you look down on the ground here, this actually has a lot of green in the black sand. So again, if you like yourself some geologic wonders, seeing these kinds of things that places you don't usually find them, it's kind of cool.
Okay, so we're sitting here on the old park bench on a Sunday afternoon, and there's only 2 other people on this particular beach. So
in this entire beach park.
It is definitely very quiet here.
Yes.
But we had some interesting things that we thought I'd share with you about this particular place, and that's kind of why we wanted to come here. First of all, this is the south side of down by in the Kawā district, and the story has it that the original Hawaiians first landed here down at the south side, and somebody told me, and I'm not sure if this is true or not, but there's actually a Hawaiian village that used to be here.
Right.
In the old days.
But there definitely was a heiau up in the top.
Yeah, it was a huge heiau up there. So
Heiau.
Very good. So with that being said, while we were here, we had a few, I guess you would say, encounters, and that's why we kind of like to share up to you. Because this
energetic encounters.
Yeah, this gets back to the idea that Hawaii has a thin layer, so there is more, I guess you'd say, more spirituality and ghosts and things like that. And the belief that I have here about it is this place has not seen very many people to it. It's always been rather quiet. And remember that it's been in the caretaker for 20 years, and he didn't let that many people in there. So it hasn't been trampled by modern society. So the first time we came here, it first of all, it has a very eerie, even now, I've been coming here a few years. It definitely has an eerie kind of buzz that belongs here. And personally, when I got here, I sat down and I literally felt somebody slap me on the shoulder, and they said, "Hey, Eric," he didn't say Eric, but "Hey, my friend," and he says, "I haven't seen you in a long time." And I was like, what is that? I mean, so it was really.
But make sure you mention the fact that it was a spirit.
Yeah, it wasn't a person. It was some sort of spiritual being, and I could literally feel the slap on my back. And then that leads to our next story. And then I kind of felt like I was not talking to him, but kind of connecting with him the whole time I was here. And then we went out to this. We just showed you this really cool little pond that we were walking out. And then Julie has another story about this that was just really kind of interesting.
So I was here with my daughter and her friend, and the three of us went out in that tide pool area, and the water's about, I don't know, like this deep, and it's really soft sand. So I had, when I first came to the beach, I was walking around, and I think you showed them it's not really a lot of sand, it's a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
And one of the things I picked up was this, it looked like it's about big as a duck egg, and it's shaped like an egg, and there was red cinder. So it was very, very
distinct. You don't see those very, and it was about that big. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so I decided, and it's funny because as soon as I touched it and decided to pick it up, I heard this, "Don't take that," and I'm like, I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to walk around with it. And so I went out to the tide pool, and the sand is black. So this was like a cinder red. It was really cool. So I figured I would leave an Easter egg out for somebody else to find. So they took a picture of us out in the water, and then there's a picture of me actually putting the rock down into the water, and then we took a couple more pictures, and then we left. And as we were walking away from the tidal pool area, that rock was sitting up on the ledge,
sitting next to the backpack, and it was the same rock. It wasn't any, and there's only a few rocks like that, and you're all, "Oh, how did that happen?" That
right.
It was just, it was
of course,
eerie.
I'm looking around. There's nobody else besides the girls, and I said, "Did you guys move that rock?" "No." I'm like, "Oh, okay, seriously, you guys, come on, stop messing around. Did you guys actually pick up that rock and move it to the thing?" And they said, "We did not." And then that's when I said, "Eric, something really strange is happening," and that's when you said.
That's what I was talking about. That I was talking to this friend that I made here, this spiritual friend. It wasn't. I wasn't scared. It wasn't unusual. It was just a sense of joy and happiness to be there. So, and you know what he said? He says, "We did that to show you that there's a difference there's a thin layer between the physical world and the non-physical world. And by moving this was a way of showing you that we can cross over the two sides." And I was like, whoa, whoa.
And so didn't you say he should take it?
And then he told us to, as a memory of what happened, he told us to take this small rock home.
Yeah. So one of the things too, when people say, "How come you feel cursed when you take things off the island?" One of my Hawaiian friends actually said, because you are basically taking something that does not belong to you.
That's
and
right.
You didn't ask for permission. And it basically is the energy of stealing. And so when Eric said that his Hawaiian friend said, "Go ahead and take it," it really held a special place in my heart, thinking, "Oh my gosh, I'm actually going to do this." And of course, when I left, I did it with reverence, and I said thank you. And like again, I will never take it off the island, and I might actually bring it back.
And the other interesting thing that happened is that Julie's mom has passed away. She passed away a few years ago now, and she will occasionally leave dimes around to show us that she's around. And so we went to sit down on this almost, I think it's the same table we're sitting at now, this beach table here. And right in the middle of the table was a dime that had been in the ocean.
Yeah, it was corroded.
It was, yeah, it had a green patina.
It's so
on
weird.
that
I saw that today.
You did?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
right.
I was thinking, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
And that's the day that we picked it up from here. It was like a really old dime.
The reason that we're sharing this with you guys is just it's particularly in Hawaii. Again, we've talked about this before. It almost seems that there's the reality reality, let me rephrase it, the physical reality and the non-physical reality have been compressed a little bit closer together. And we've had many, I'm going to say at least 5 experiences of paranormal that have happened on this island where you go, how can that happen? And this was another one of those, and it's just to show you that, you know, that it's real. I don't know if you guys, some of you don't believe it, but in my eye, there's no way that these things cannot be real.
Yeah, like it's like saying the Kona Lagoon wasn't haunted.
Yeah.
It was really haunted. And so, you know, and I call it, like they call it, energetic. So haunted is kind of one thing. It's called, it has a lot of energy. And this island, this beach, you could just almost feel that there was hundreds of people that came here, and it was like new to them too.
Yeah, a joy. There's
joy, and also awe, and maybe a little bit of like
and there's a sense of power here too. That's it's pretty amazing. And this is, first of all, it's hard to get to this place. It's about, I'm going to say it's probably a 3/4 mile walk over some rough terrain, and it's not, and even when you're here, there's not a beach you can go lay down in, and it's not that kind of beach. No. And the fact that it's you know, halfway between a volcano and Naʻalehu, so it's just definitely
it's not a place that you would.
And we're not encouraging people to come. You know, this is not what this is about. It's just to show you that there are these different places on the island and give you a place to see these things.
Yeah, and also we were talking about the conflict thing. So the gentleman that was caretaking it, you know what? I think he did the land a favor.
Yeah, he took care of the land for a long time.
He took care of the land,
and it was probably so spiritual that he felt very, you know, as being part of the crew that we connected with it. You know.
Yeah. What I mean? You know, if you are intuitive, and you come, just be open.
Yeah.
You might have things happen.
There you go. All right. There's our story for the day.
Bye.
We are here at some place that really doesn't look like a traditional Hawaii, or maybe so traditionally old, it's amazing. So, a little history here. This is a conference center that was built in the early 70s, and in the 76 tsunami, is that what I got?
78, I think.
78 tsunami.
It used to be like the Aspen Center for like humanity or something.
Right. So needless to say, there was a tsunami that came in and wiped out this entire center, and it's been essentially vacant for the entire time since that time. And we've gone through it a couple times, and it's like a throwback.
It keeps getting worse every time we show up.
Every year it gets a little more dilapidated and a little worse. But the reason that we're here is that they are talking about doing a new development in this area, and it's caused quite a bit of controversy. So we thought we would just share a little bit about the information and see what you guys think about it.
Okay, so here's the pitch that the Blackand Beach LLC told everybody around here, that at first they were going to try and build almost 2,900
single family homes,
or
single family homes in condos,
places that people could stay. That's it, right? If you guys don't know, there's already condos over down here. It's called
Sea Mountain.
Mm-hmm. And so what they wanted to do was basically completely change this whole area with 2,000.
Turn it into at that point it's almost a town. You know,
resort community.
Yeah.
So of course they got pushed back from the locals, and they said, okay.
Well, and wait, just to let's put things in a little bit of perspective. This area is one of the more remote parts of the Big Island, and it doesn't have any of the structures that are needed for that kind of development.
There's not even like a restaurant anywhere near here.
The closest, everything. The closest one is at least 20 minutes away.
Yeah, Punalu, right?
Yeah.
If you guys want to talk about the last bastion of Hawaii where nobody lives, and you can wander around.
This is known for a lot of, there's a lot of agriculture, there's coffee, there's things growing down here. It also has a lot of cattle. And this, at one time, remember where this was the cane grass is where, not cane grass, but sorry, there's cane grass and sugarcane was the sugarcane industry.
And that was in Pahala. And so you guys might know this area because you probably have gone to Punalu Blackand Beach to see the turtles pull themselves right
and literally, as we just say, it's about 100 yards.
And as you guys drive in, you might have seen the golf course that's been abandoned for years. And so what the development company had wanted to do was come up and make the golf course reusable again.
Right.
Clean
and
up
fix up this whole convention center, turn it back
fix
in
the tennis facilities.
And actually get down and fix part of the beach area and get that done, do the ramp for the boats. A lot of good things, definitely.
Yeah.
So since they were shut down with their large 2,900 unit plan, they've scaled it back, and now we're like a couple hundred, something.
Like 225.
Yeah, not very many. And their belief is that is what the minimum is to keep all of the things. Yeah, to afford to actually put it in.
And then this goes to the problem that's happening in Hawaii and different beautiful places around the world is that as soon as you start getting development in, you get all the stuff that goes with development. So they're worried that, the people around the community, they're worried that by bringing in all this new development, it's going to actually, obviously change the entire community.
Yeah.
And you can't put that stuff back. And also, they say that they are going to use local food and, all the local stuff. And somebody, we wrote on, because we looked at the pros and cons on the internet before we did this video. And the cons were, don't greenwash this and brownwash this thing. Because what they want to say is that they're going to develop the historical cultural sites and keep everything, make it copacetic for the locals. But the locals know there's no copacetic when development comes in. Because when they're even doing the economic and the natural impacts, they said you never know what the impacts are. And then even when you've done it, you can't put it back. It's like the genie in the bottle. So, of course, it'd be, for us, it'd be nice to see this place cleaned up. It's an eyesore.
Or maybe do something else with it. And that's kind of why we're bringing this to you today, is just to give you an idea of, the challenges of being on an island and whether people will buy into this idea of growth or not. And in Hawaii Island, we are very much against growth, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And I think what it is, it goes back to when there was the Oahu, which they built 50-story condos everywhere you turn a look at it.
And there's a million people on that island.
And we made a vow that was never going to be that way here.
Yeah, and what was funny, interesting too, because it's when we first got here, it was like, can they just clamp it downtown, make it just look a little better? And everyone's like, if you want better, then go back to California, It was like, okay. So when I look around here and think, they could do a couple things. It's like, just shut up. Because you know what? Again, where else do you go where literally there's no development? And you can come to a beach, you see some turtles, you get back in your car and you go to, either Volcano or you go to Punalu, and everybody who lives here, and we don't even know all the people who live here. There's probably a whole community that just does its own thing, and they're happy.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we did the coffee. We went to
but this isn't just Pahala. There's people that live up in that area.
Yeah, I get it.
And then what we've seen, you guys, around the world and around, especially our country, literally, when you bring in something and make it a tourist destination, the people that were here originally get priced out of where they had lived for generations. And with the crisis of housing, that was one reason why I'm thinking this does not need to be developed until they can figure out another way to make sure that everybody else is taken care of. Because you know what, as much as like these things, you probably need to just get whatever demolished, changed, whatever. If it changes the way of life for all the people that have been here forever, I don't think it's a good thing. And again, we're asking you guys, is your opinion too?
Yeah, well, you kind of know where we stand. But that's kind of why we wanted to show this to you, because it's one of those things. And it's been a hot issue here. This has been going on for a few years.
Yeah.
So I'm glad at least we were able to cover it and show you guys, kind of what's going on.
Yeah, and we'll show you a little bit more around here. But we also, when we were at the other beach, we got a chance to see the heiau up there. And you guys, seriously, this is like one of the places that first contact happened. And if we put a bunch of people here, they can't help themselves.
They're gonna run
it over. It's like not right. And so now that I've gotten a chance to spend some time in Oahu and Maui and here and stuff like that, I do believe that we need to preserve some spaces and not develop them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are wrapping up the day as the sun starts to head over that way.
Yep, and we are on the Black Sand Beach. Well, a lot of you guys have been, and I will say, you guys, no matter what you say about Hawaii, this is a very special place, and just because this beach was basically created from the energy of new eruptions, you can feel it here. And so as we end this, we've taken you to a variety of different places in South Hawaii. And our whole thing is always about respecting the land. Take the Pono Pledge before you visit. For those of us who live here, keep an eye on the issues. And don't forget that it's a very special place to be called home, and it takes energy to actually keep it this way. So share the aloha.
Yes, and if you want to learn more about, we've got a newsletter, 365.
Right. So I'm doing the monthly newsletter showing you what kind of events are on the island. So head over to 365hawaiiliving.com, join the Ohana, and I'm about to release the September newsletter. So get on board, and we are also going to be doing another video coming up pretty soon about the new businesses that have opened up in West Hawaii. So if you have a new business, make sure you reach out. We'll make sure that we get a chance to feature you.
And with that, we say
aloha.
aloha.